Welcome to the end of year screening. This first video you're about to watch is an introductory piece to the participants and life at the Youth Media program. Enjoy the show.
Who are the youth members of CCTV anyway?
Wearing my hair proudly is a video that I made. It talks about my hair and my culture because when I was growing up, I was thought to hate the way that I looked, and I hope you enjoyed.
Did you know back in the days, different hairstyle had different meanings? Well, for example, young women may wear styles that show they are open to marriage, whereas married women's hairstyle show they are unavailable. Hairstyles were also used in a way of survival. African women would sometimes place rice seed between two sections of hair. They did this just in case that they were captured and forced to voyage across the Atlantic so that they would at least have a small amount of food. Growing up, I did not know the differences between each hairstyles or the meaning. Now I've realized that African hairstyles have been used for decades and for so many different reasons. The story behind hairstyling is so powerful, which gives me a purpose to wear my hair proudly.
This video is inspired from a painting from the Harvard Museum. Hope you enjoy.
This video is called Agoraphobia, and it's how I felt during a certain time in my life, before and after the pandemic.
Hey, you. Can you hear me? How do you see the world? Well, if you ask me, I wouldn't really have the answer for that. I, myself, just exist. I wake up every day thinking, when is this gonna be over? I want to pull myself from reality, thinking one day I will just disappear. No one will be there. Some crazy thoughts I got. If you want to know something, then I cannot hold eye contact. Drawing in my head to have a perfect world, making people disappear. My eyes get darker and darker over the time. The noise just gets bigger and bigger. It's like if I could hear colors. I'm so afraid to go out that even my family thinks I'm not part of it. It's like if I was just a roommate, hiding behind my screen, pressing that stream button and being finally able to talk to people, spending thousands and thousands of dollars just to have at least social interaction online. Everything just keeps getting worse and worse. It's like if I could hear the people just looking at me, judging, although they don't even know I exist. I feel like I'm just the black sheep, the fish in a shark pool. Every time I go out, I think twice, why am I still here? Why am I doing this? But the more I think, the more I remember. It's because of them. My family, my friends, all the people I love. They just encourage me to succeed. And I just cannot stop crying about it. Every time I go out now, I encourage myself to remove the excess from people's faces and finally be able to look at their eyes and tell them the beauty of you is...
My project is based on Meadow Farm. I mean, it's a documentation of the lifestyle that the owners, John and Lauren, have, and how they run the farm and the facility, and just portraying their work and the effort that they've put into it.
Okay, sweetie pies, look who's here. Look who's here. Baby Lamba's here, Mama. Oh, Mama's gonna go outside. Oh yeah, you're gonna chase the baby lamb now. Be nice, be gentle. Hey, be gentle.
I was just looking for a house with a bigger garden, and this place came up, and I decided I'd buy it. It was back in the 1980s, almost 30 years ago. Yeah.
We both were raised to work. Our parents made us work from the time we were young, and you know, we didn't have computers, we didn't sit on computer screens, we worked, so you never know when you have to do it, you learn to do it.
You know, I had any farming experience, but I like to garden. So, you know, once I was here, I said, well, you know, I may as well make use of the space. So I, you know, grew some corn, got some chickens, and one thing led to another. And then, well, the next thing you know, it's sort of back in operation again as a farm. And it took, you know, a number of years for that to happen. Well, we have different little plants here that we're starting out. And if you look over here, you can see how tiny these little seedlings are. Over here we have kale, which is getting started. So they'll be transplanted out into pots. We're just starting here under lights in these 20 rows densely because of space conservation. It's funny because her mother lived on a farm, couldn't get away from it fast enough. She wanted to go live in the city. And my father grew up on a farm and couldn't get away from it fast enough. And he came to Boston. And we both, I guess, had some, not experience, but it was in the family in some way or another. So.
Paperwork for the town, more paperwork. Three baby lambs that are bottle fed and the rest their mamas feed them. So they're gonna jump, they'll jump on you. They'll jump. Over here. You're not used to having another baby in here. We're all done. I know you want to go outside. I know you do. They'll be going out soon. Depends on how wet the ground is, and because if they go out too early, they trample all over the pasture, and if the pasture doesn't have the grass with it's the roots holding the soil in place, they'll just make a big mess. The grass won't be able to grow for the whole year, and just do everything in the right order, in the proper time. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. So, have to be patient. That's part of farming, is doing everything in the proper time. Farming is not difficult, but there's a lot to learn. I don't need a PhD to farm. Experience is a lot of experience, a lot of doing it.
And the yolks are orange?
Yes,
That's what
ma'am. And then we recycle the cartons. Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. You take the raw apple, and it won't last all winter.
You peel the apples, cut them, cook them, and then it's put through a canning process. It's just like a homemade version of what they do in the store. It's more time consuming if you do it at home.
Way more time consuming, but way more delicious also.
Yeah.
This video is an interview with the owner of 7 Stars, which is a store that I've always loved.
Well, I worked for the previous owners. This is going back some 35 years ago. And I will be interested in literature. I got into the metaphysical material probably about 40 years ago. And I got a job working in the bookstore. And once I started working, I had a dream, in a sense, of developing the bookstore, maybe moving into ownership if it presented itself to me, and elevating the store to a reasonably high level. Many years ago, going back to almost 40 years ago, I was working in the store and there were several specimens on display for sale. And I just had a really strong sense, I would call it a matter of speaking vision, that these items were very special and that they would play big in the New Age market. And things developed. I went to a gem show with old friends, bought a few things, and started selling in different venues, shows. I did learn how to string beads like many years ago, but that was about it. I had a few experiences with different pieces, but really it was just buying, going to that show and a few others, and slowly picking up and assimilating the materials I was dealing with, the crystals and the specimens. I really like my inventory, and I like the people I deal with. It's a great customer base, very intelligent, and to be frank, their judgment on the stones is, from my vantage point, excellent. I mean, I try to keep things replenished often. I'm putting in new stuff, and I make judgments on what are nice pieces, and I find they go quickly. So I like the flow.
So this video about quarantine and how I spent my time after quarantine and during quarantine. I hope you enjoy. Hello, today I will talk about how the quarantine affected me. The first thing that happened was that I began to think more about my life. It happened because I was alone with myself most of the time, and I had a lot of time think about what is happening in my life. I was very closed for others and for myself. But after the beginning of the quarantine, I thought about my perception of life and how I understand it. For this, I realized a lot for myself. But quarantine also brought many problems and desperate situations. So I am grateful for this part of my life because quarantine has brought many changes in my life. Thank you for listening.
My name is Coco Rosenberg, or Corrine. So I am, in formal title, the Assistant Director of Youth Development at the Alma Lewis Center, but sort of in a more expansive way, I'm an educator, an artist, a youth worker. I oversee our youth programs that really look at the intersection between social justice and the creative arts and how we make social change working with high school youth. I think that art in of itself is something that is so essential to all of us and to our soul feeling really nourished. I think the pandemic has been a challenging time for all of us, a time of loss, a time of complexity, a time of uncertainty. And so any space that creates room to make art and think about the power of art is deeply meaningful, I believe, during the pandemic. And I think especially doing that with high school youth who found themselves particularly isolated during this pandemic, at home, trying to do their school and lessons, not being able to see their peers, their classmates, their friends. So I think that this work really created some spaces, some pockets of solace, some community when community felt really hard to access. I think there's many things that we can do to take care of ourselves, but I think even more importantly is the way that we can take care of each other. I think leaning on community and recognizing that our productivity, our ability to show up, does not determine our worth, right? And so leaning into the care that we can offer one another is a really big part of taking care of our own mental health and taking care of each other's mental health, because society wants us to believe we are separated, that we're individuals, but we do need to lean upon one another. I think mental health we conceptualize often in really narrow ways. We're building our language and our capacity to think about mental health. The term neurodivergent, right, to be more expansive of folks whose experiences are not neurotypical, right, whose brains are not necessarily neurotypical, and that we actually have such a wide range of experiences with mental health that I think that's really important. I think depression is something that's been historically really stigmatized, and we need to create more space to have conversations about depression and anxiety and other forms of mental health that are yes, I think like absolutely things that we grapple with as individuals, but often are part of this like societal dysfunction that is putting us in a place where we, so many people are grappling with the isolation and hurt that come along with depression and anxiety and everything else. That intergenerational aspect that we have here within our center, where I'm working with youth, and we also are working with elders and community members and children at really every level. So that's one big thing that I love, is just like all the collaboration. And the other thing that I love is my programs. Like that's really the best part of it, is getting to hang out with young folks, to have conversations that can feel really complex and that we don't always get to have, and to make art. And I think we need more spaces for that kind of community where we can gather and grapple, and in the process grow.
So this video about my mom dancing and talking about ballet, which is very important to our family.
В балет попала в 4,5 года. Была маленькая детская студия. Через год ее, к сожалению, закрыли. И меня отправили в Государственный академический Самарский театр оперы и балета. Мне было 6 лет. Была огромная комиссия, много людей, потому что это областной театр. И меня приняли во 2 класс. Сначала было 3 класса по 100 человек. Когда мы выпускались через 10 лет, из всех этих классов осталось всего 7 человек. После этого я уехала в столицу Москва, поступила в театр, работала в московских театрах, ездила по гастролям за границу и по России. Театр эстрады, театр Эрмитаж, театр Станиславского, театр САЦ, камерный балет Москва, где мне очень нравилось работать, потому что там были драматические балеты, и у меня были ведущие партии. С ними мы ездили по стране. Профессия тяжелая, но красивая. очень много травм, но в итоге все равно остались приятные воспоминания. И теперь я преподаю в Америке.
Oscillation is a video inspired by a beautiful black and white photograph from the Harvard Art Museum. Enjoy!
So this video is called Interview with Keith, and there I really learned about the Trigger project and a whole world around Keith Muscal.
Hi, I'm your favorite random Mexican, and today I'm gonna be spending a day with one of the most iconic faces here in Cambridge and see through the eyes of pain and suffer of abuse.
So, Keith, right?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you. First of all, just thank you for having me. This is an honor to be here with you this afternoon, and I'm always excited to do anything that has to do with Cambridge. Just because I'm proud to be from Cambridge, and we're all about the arts. I've been saying this for a while. It's not about basketball. It's not about anything else. The arts lead the way. So I'm honored to be here. We are shattering the silence and nurturing the healing of Black and brown male survivors with the use of art. I have 3 different components of it. We have the one-man show called Triggered Life, where I'm telling my story as a survivor of abuse, and I'm telling my story.
Is the Trigger project only for Black and brown males, or is it mainly focused on them?
Yeah, it's mainly focused on Black and brown males because it's something that's just not talked about in the African American community, Latinx community. Something's not talked about at all. It's something that's really swept under the rug, and so that's why we're focusing mainly on Black and brown males. But we're definitely a resource for everybody, because abuse has no color at all, and has no gender at all. And so that's, we'll help anybody. It was tough, for sure. It was definitely hard, but I had my art to help me through it. And lucky also too, I've had a therapist and things like that. So that made it even though it was tough, I didn't lose faith in anything. Like, I knew it was going to pass, and it made the Triggered project work even more important because
more people need it.
because more people needed help in that way. So that just, to be honest with you, that just really fueled me. And you know, I'm not a big video game guy, so I wasn't just sitting and just playing video games all day. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it is a form of self-medication. Yeah, I think probably the easiest thing to do, just because we have those 3 components and stuff like that, is I can do a small thing from the one-man show, if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. My mind has been through many battlefields, and most of the time I come out feeling ashamed, anguished, down on myself, creating a canvas drenched in dark colors. What did I do so wrong? I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I struggle to say that as a man. My quiet and loud moments are always a struggle. Do I have to look into the sun to burn yesterday's pain? Do I have to summon the past to talk to the future? These waves of emotion move me off center and move me away from where I want to be. And sometimes I'm at home laughing louder than I should. Yeah, I know how to laugh, but somehow I sound different. Can you hear it? The sound, that is. That's the sound of painful silence. So I speak to my abuser. You changed me from the inside, you changed me from the inside, you gave me anguish with loving hands sprinkled with what I thought I needed. Yes, my words change with my emotions because my heart has been through many battlefields before 6 in the morning and I wake up ashamed of the sunrise. But I don't look to you for salvation. I create a space to fly away from it all. But you pull me back in and I find myself colder and in an abnormal universe. So I'm confronting you now in front of everyone. I just wanted to be held and understood. I just wanted the right touch. But it changed.
This video is about the Metaverse. I went and explored inside of a Metaverse, and then I also interview people outside of the Metaverse and see their opinions. Do you know about the Metaverse? No? Well, the stars aligned and I finally went outside. It happens once every single time that the stars align. And I decided to interview some people about the Metaverse, since it's something not really talked about, but it could be a future. It could be a reality, in the next reality. Alright, so now follow me to my journey. Hello, my name is Sergio. I'm from CCTV. What's your name?
Katrina.
I'm Peter. My name is Alexander Lyons.
Sam. Nice to meet you. I'm Sergio. I'm from CCTV. And I'm here to give you a couple questions about the Metaverse. Do you know anything about the Metaverse?
Not really.
I do not.
I really don't. I sure do not.
Alright. So, basically the Metaverse, it's like a virtual reality where you can shop, play, socialize, and do a bunch of human things, but without human interaction. Any opinions on that?
I do have one gut feeling. This might be a little old-fashioned of me, but while I think it's extremely exciting to have technology grow in this way to be able to connect with people in other parts of the world, I don't think there's anything more special than human interaction. And I think both have a place in the world, right? That's why we love theater, or we love the opera. We have the opportunity, or museums, we have the opportunity to be in person physically with that art and with that person. So yeah, that's my reaction. I think there's a place for both, but I will always lean a little bit more towards human interaction.
I think it's the next phase in the future, right? And that coupled with augmented reality, wearing the glasses and just walking around. Although I feel that it's going to contribute to a lack of exercise, everyone's going to stay home and we're just going to end up and evolve around and be like overweight and unhealthy folks.
I think it's a really cool idea. I think, like everything, if it becomes too much, that it might be overwhelming. Everything's good in moderation.
It's difficult to say because, yes, I have seen what it is, but it is not clear where it will really be used, except for video games or some work application, but it's difficult to say. So excited, interesting, yes, but excited, I don't think so.
Who knows? This is the first glimpse of that type of world we might be in. So, while it's exciting, I feel like it makes me a little nervous.
Do you think there's gonna be a downside when the metaverse comes?
I think possibly less social interaction face to face, which may make that a little bit more difficult.
Things come with positive aspect and a negative aspect. Technology cannot have no consequences. What they will be, again, will depend on how it's used, who it's used by. So yes, it'll have consequences, definitely, yes.
It's really for future generation, yeah. It's for people like you, Sergio, like you, Tani, that how it is used and what it matters. I think that's all I want to say.
Well, that was it. I hope you learn a lot about the metaverse and people's perspective. Well, now I have to run because I'm being searched. So enjoy some clips of me messing around with a green screen.
Welcome to the Roundtable Talks with the Youth.
So, my people, tell me about your time in the youth media program.
So, I've been here for a couple years now, and I really enjoy being here. I love the environment. It's so welcoming and friendly, and it's a great place for me to learn new things and strengthen my own skills.
Well, same as Angie, since I was little, I always wanted to edit videos. So here at CCTV, I have the opportunity to edit videos and make money out of it. And I also learn a couple stuff.
A couple stuff? No, I think I've learned a lot, and yeah, it's been a great time. I just joined, and I already did a video that I'm pretty proud of, and I don't know, yeah, it's been really cool.
I need to see the video.
Yeah. Actually, I was here a couple months, and it was really lovely. I never think about did I want to edit a video or do something, but I get some experience and I love it.
Being a teenager, it's really tiring, especially when you have a job and school. Responsibility, you have to be really responsible for you to have a job and also school. I don't know, it's just hard to be a teenager and people just don't see it, especially adults. I don't think that being a teenager, it's really easy, even though they went through being a teenager. So
you were very fast-paced and growing quickly, especially Gen Z itself. We are quite a young generation, and yet we also just know probably too much, right? So it's very hard to be a teenager nowadays because you have so much on your plate.
I feel like I'm learning and growing every day so much from my feelings and experiences, and it's pretty cool. I try to take it as a positive experience, really.
I love to be a teenager actually, but I don't like how people express it. A lot of older than me, people thinks that I don't have a thought. I'm don't have experience, and like I'm just a kid. Yeah, so I don't like that, but I love to be a teenager because I learn about myself, many things.
Yeah, I mean, like, the cool thing is, like, you're not really a kid anymore. Like, you're transitioning, you're becoming an adult, and that, I feel like that CCTV really, like, empowers that. Like, it's like a bigger responsibility. You're getting paid, like, it's a good way to, like, transition.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's gonna sound really cheesy and like really yucky, but it's just like meeting you guys. I'm not a big social person. I don't barely got friends in school, and here I got to meet new people from other schools, like you know, one of my best friends.
I just like love it every day coming here. Like, enjoy it.
Oh,
you're a very happy person. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, highlight or like a really fun moment, I don't know why, when we were in the big studio, just like messing around or like even taking like a group photo.
Oh, the 360 camera?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I look horrible in that. I look like a pop.
That ugly photo of all of us. That was a really funny
and
moment.
It's plastered everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
I definitely have a lot. Due dates, the due lines. Deadlines, yes.
Working with others is like, that's the difficult part, because if you're obviously not going to be able to control all variables of life working with other people.
Crazy.
So I have to like lean back.
Just like keeping my stuff organized and like on time, responsibility, but it's also like helped me and I don't know, I completed the video on time.
Yay.
Oh, well, but just about. I'm from Chile and I love tahini.
Well, I went to a military school. I'm a military in Mexico, and I guess I don't know. People think that I don't speak Spanish, even though I say I'm 100% Mexican.
I like playing sports and eating food. So my two favorite combinations.
Okay, I'm in love with almond croissants, and I'm Russian.
Photojournalism.
The one that I have right now.
Oh, my dream job? I don't know, it changes every 5 minutes.
Dentist, fashion designer, and something about mental health. So I always say like cat and dog.
I would be maybe an octopus.
Cat.
A snake.
Anything that's tasty, I'll take.
I do love spaghetti and mac and cheese. But if you want to talk about snacks and like candy, chocolate.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
Almond croissant.
Almond croissant.
Almond croissant.
Almond croissant.
Chocolate croissant.
Please give me almond croissant.
Thank you for coming.
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 Thank you for coming and supporting the Youth Media Program.